Kitty Murder Monroe.
Hi.
How old are you?
As of yesterday, I am 43 years old.
Happy late birthday.
Thank you so much.
What's your current situation right now?
My current situation is I am a transient fashion model.
Are you homeless?
Yes and no, because the world is my home and we all should like live off what's there, you know what I'm saying? Do we really own our houses? Mostly no. Do we really own the apartments we rent? Mostly no. Someone could come and take that, snatch that rug from under you at any moment. So I'm in the same situation that all of humanity is. I'm just more realistic.
You got a pretty good point there.
Thank you.
You don't own anything.
Huh?
You don't own
No
anything,
one owns.
huh?
That truck's not even yours.
Yeah.
Like even the clothes that we're borrowing right now from like, it's just borrowed time.
So what do you do out here to survive?
I create art. I make beautiful things, and they live for hours sometimes. Sometimes they deteriorate immediately. But the illusion of beauty it's wonderful. People are going to see what they're going to see, what they want.
What do you mean by creating art?
Like, I can take off my wig and be me, the person that doesn't have the confidence, the person that is shy and like quiet, that's basically an emasculated man that's mostly like a pussy, like I would say. But when I'm Kitty, I'm confident, I have the courage to tell the world, and I do hundreds of times. I experience what a lot of people, I don't know if people know about this, but it occurs a lot in big cities like in Los Angeles and in Phoenix now. It's called gang stalking, where hundreds of people rev their motors at you, they drive up to you, they come real close to you, they almost like go underneath your clothes, even like they sneak up out of nowhere just to get that out of you. And that is a very blood boiling, angering situation for people like myself and anyone that is the underdog, or just anyone that feels like afraid, really, because like I'm not afraid to exist, but I'm afraid of what other people would see, or what they, because everyone's going to see what they see, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just afraid of what their perception of me is. That's what I'm afraid of.
Can I ask you about your childhood? How was your childhood growing up?
My childhood growing up was very, very difficult. My parents are both immigrants from Mexico, from Zacapu, Michoacan, and Nogales, Sonora. And they were young parents. I was their first kid. My dad was an alcoholic, cocaine addict, Trans Am driving, jumping through the T-top type Mexican, if you could say. My mom was a monster truck driving, WWF fucking watching, Hulk Hogan loving Ruca that loved cruising down Central when cruising in Central was. I'm from South Phoenix. They're just freaking dope, dude. They were like, I loved them, dude, but they were freaking also beautifully fucked up, beautifully torn, beautifully hateful to each other. They were like in a polyamorous marriage per se. My dad had 3 women living in the same home with us. He had a very machista, very Don Juan, ladies man, culiadora la morra type person. And I loved him, but I also resented him a lot. My mom is still very beautiful and vibrant and happy and jovious and likes to dance, and I get most of the outspokenness from my mom. She's the one that like I'm the most like. Growing up with them was really hard. I had to like make do with, all the nicest things because they were dealers. So there was freaking Bugle Boy jeans, freaking Guess, freaking Jinkos when like in the 90s, like all through those like all those little like statement pieces like biker shorts and freaking rollerblades and all that bullshit. The Huffy bike. I had all the nicest like things, but I didn't have them. They were always like absent, like doing jales and freaking movidas and todas las cosas, like.
Are your jefitos still together?
My father died 11 years ago. 11 to 12 years ago. I was in prison when my father died.
Sorry to hear that.
It was very hard. Yeah, it's.
How long have you been this way? Were you like this when you were
My whole life.
growing up?
Mm-hmm.
When you were a kid, you already knew that.
I already knew.
That
I'm gonna grab my
you were,
drink.
or you wanted to be female.
I knew that. I would wear my prima's heels and like clank around and stuff. But all little boys do that. I would steal my prima's Barbie head and like do her hair up and shit.
Yeah. And what about your father? What did he tell you when you were acting out those kind of things?
He let me. He was very like open-minded, I would say, but that like later showed like why he was open-minded. It was because he also, I think, I'm not sure, his best friend was a gay man, and he was Tio Kiki, and he was just a big Mexican queen, like fabulous. They brought him to live with us for like probably like 5 years at one point.
Okay.
And there was like a trifecta quad, like there was some sister wife shit going on.
You think your dad was messing around with?
I
your
think
deal
so.
about-
It's never been just like per se in my mind, yes, and everyone else's mind, oh no, never. You know what I'm saying? No.
Yes.
But yeah, like it was yeah, it was highly suggestive, they weren't very private about stuff. Like they would talk about stuff freely. There was paint on glass tables, always. Like there was always a party. There was always all kinds of girls around. There was all kinds of everything around.
Do you have any siblings?
I'm the oldest of 7.
And what about your other siblings? How are they doing? And
We're all like beautifully freaking a beautiful mess.
do you have any other?
Yeah, I have
transgender
I have another transgender sister. Her name's Tony, and she's amazing. I love her. She's 10 years younger than me. My relationships with my brothers and sisters are very they're on very thin ice. It's a very difficult situation.
So how is it out here on the streets? Is it dangerous? Do people discriminate against you? Do they?
Oh yeah.
Talk crap? Guys
I've had my jaw broken 2 times. Once here in Phoenix and once in LA. The one in LA happened first. The one here in Phoenix happened almost exactly a year after. And it was like someone.
Was it over?
It was a hate crime. It was just unexpected. Just someone ran up on me and did me in, and it was shocking and like scary. I've almost lost my life a lot of times in my life. I've been in many car accidents. My whole like face has been like ripped off, like my forehead and shit. Like this is all like scarred. Like I look like Chucky, like without my wig. I have 4 teeth missing on the bottom. I'm not confident about that. I'm very self-conscious about it because this was done to me out of hate. It's not my face is not the way it used to be. Like the surgeons did try to construct it. It's close to, but not very. Like I'm very like, I don't know. I look like Jay Leno's daughter or something. Like I feel like, you know what I'm saying? It's my jaw is like way different. But like, looks really aren't important. It's how you feel and how you like carry yourself and how the world sees you or how they perceive you. I could be having a great day and just bouncing around, laughing, and like it would just take one person to freaking be like, F it, but I say F it all day long. I say it, but it's when it's like done in a hurtful, like, look at yourself, like, aren't you ashamed of yourself type way. It's very demeaning. And they don't know what you have to do to survive. They don't know what you have to do to anything.
Do you go like by pronouns and all that stuff? Because I don't really know.
Not really. I would
stuff,
really like. I would really, honestly, like. I used to say she, her, but I'm everything. I'm. There's duality in everyone. Every man can be a bitch, and every bitch can be a man. Especially when they're trying to freaking put, you know.
The reason why I asked you that is because like, when you go places to like stores and stuff like that,
it's upsetting when the clerks are like, when they're like, sir, when they purposely call you sir, in a hurtful, like demeaning way. Yeah, it pisses me the fuck off. Pisses me the fuck off. It aggravates, like, especially like, I mean, I'm dressed like a woman, like at least do it accordingly. I'm not a they them or any of those things, but I'm just be respectful. Like I try to be respectful to everyone, unless I get in one of those moods. And I'm actually in one of those moods because like earlier I bought a bottle of Stella Rose like 10 minutes ago, and I sat it down to pour it in my cup, and someone with a BB gun shot it out of my hand. It just, or it exploded, but it felt like I felt it like. When I look like a man, I do look like a man. I think I look like a man. But to some other people, I may not look like a man. I may look like a very feminine figure. And I do like embody a femininity when I walk. I feel, you know what I'm saying? Like, I move around, se me mueven cosas, you know, like, and it's all like in the energy that you're putting out. Like, I try to put out positive, happy energy that charges other people up, that makes them feel good about themselves. Like everyone should feel good about themselves. I don't think anyone should ever feel like shit about themselves, but right now I feel like shit about myself. Like I need to like hear my own advice, and it's hard, but I try.
You'll be all right, man.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you for sharing your story. I really do appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Are you okay if I put this on my YouTube channel and social media?
I'm okay with it.
And just in case somebody wants to reach out to you with any sort of help or donations, do you have any contact information that you want to share, like an email or anything?
I do have an email. It is murderkitty99@gmail.com.
How do you spell it out?
Murder, MURDER KITTY 99 at gmail.com.
All right. Thank you.
I also have a phone number of. Should I give it?
I don't think.
No.
Yeah. I think
email
is
me.
better.
And my Cash App is Ram My Kitty. That's money sign RAMMYKITTY.
All right, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.